Welcome to the Wolf's Den,
the podcast where passion,
hustle,
and collectibles
collide. We spotlight the leaders and innovators of the hobby, women entrepreneurs, female athletes, breaking barriers in sports, business, and collectibles space.
From rare finds to business insights, we bring you personal stories of perseverance, growth, and what's trending in today's industry. Whether you're a new collector or returning to the hobby or a leader forging their own path,
this is the Den, where the hustle never stops. So we're back with a new episode of the Wolf's Den. We're celebrating Pokemon, obviously, and we want to highlight two of my favorite store in the New York area. You guys always see me here on Wednesday, Bleecker Trading.
What's up, Sharon? Yeah, we know each other well. We do stuff together weekly basis, and you come down to the card shows. So this feels real familiar and long overdue, kind of. And a great day to do that. Celebrating 30 years of Pokemon today. So that's awesome stuff. Exciting. You can feel the energy around the shop. And I think as you make your tour around the city today, I think you're going to feel that because since we opened up this morning, we have had nonstop customers in here. The amount of pre-orders last night to pick up stuff today, absolutely out of control. Pokemon is not only back in a real way, it looks like it's here to stay.
No, it's very exciting. They keep growing, you know. So that's why I'm like, I want to ask you, I know you used to collect too. You still collect. So what do you think of Pokemon? Well, give us a little background of yourself too, you know, and your affiliation with Bleecker, you know, and stuff like that. Just you. Who's Mike Kowpak?
Yeah, well, so I'm the GM here at Bleecker Trading. So I help oversee all sorts of operations for this store. And my role has really developed over the years here, starting up with one retail location, being on counter and really getting to know all the folks in the community at a real intimate level, growing that out with events. And as we've grown now, opening more locations, my role keeps evolving. But just the overall goal stays the same. How to spread community, how to share this Bleecker Trading space, atmosphere, and a community, and a space that I love, cards, right? So specifically for Pokemon, that was the first thing I ever collected.
Wow.
Before I got into baseball cards, I was born in the early 90s. So I am the sweet spot to be a Pokemon collector. When I was a kid, my older brother, 2 years older than me, always had the upper leg on stuff, playing card games or whatever it was. So for me, as soon as he got into Pokemon, I was obsessed too. I wanted to have as good cards as him, trade with him and his friends. And truly some of my earliest memories, interactions with them, for better and for worse. I remember one time his buddy, Rob, if you're watching, got the best of me in a trade. And I went home after school that day crying. No. But 30 years later, to be able to remember that so vividly and it really sticks with you, and to be able to make a career in this profession, it's special stuff. So fast forward to today, now working at Bleecker, about half our business is Pokemon. The other side of it being sports cards.
Probably more than half, but
yeah, absolutely. If you're looking at a retail level, of course we do all the events and all the other stuff that comes with Bleecker. But when you're talking on the sales of customers coming to this Pokemon has absolutely been on fire.
It's been a couple of years now too. It's not just,
Yeah,
so.
It's funny you say that because I was talking with a colleague the other day about the 25th anniversary, and that was coming right out of COVID, and we were all like, oh my goodness, Pokemon couldn't get hotter. Sell all your old sealed stuff. This is your chance now to cash out. Everything is at unobtainable highs. And now looking back, oh my goodness, I wish I was buying that.
That wasn't even close.
Ago. Yeah. So it is really, really a different game now. And I think we've seen a lot of that in pop culture recently with Pokemon being all over the place. Starting this past couple of weeks at the Olympics, it seemed like they were one of the marquee sponsors, being around every commercial break. They were saying, this is brought to you by Pokemon.
Yeah.
This is at a whole nother level now. Exciting stuff.
Well, they're expanding in the U.S. a lot too with the manufacturing and all that stuff.
Absolutely. And on the ground level, the daily demand, month over month, now year over year, I can feel, I can see.
You can't keep them.
I can't keep it in stock. Right. It was funny. I was looking back at some, we were doing a photo reel recap at the end of this past year of some of the best moments in Bleecker history. and I was going through the collage, and we had a Michael Parsons, who is on the Packers now, was standing in the front room. We had done an event with him, and behind him was a Pokemon wall.
Wow.
So this was like 3 years ago, and it was totally filled. But all the boxes, $50, $100,
crazy.
Literally a third the price they are today.
Yeah.
That's only 2-3 years later. That stuff, since the time we thought was impossibly hot on the 25th anniversary, now on the 30th, has even grown more. So it's really exciting to see, as someone who's passionate about the space, that more people are getting into it, and we can share this community and all this fun stuff that comes around it.
Yeah, with the new sales to, the illustration.
Oh my goodness.
It's card.
Yeah, so it really is insane, right? So that sale, over $16 million of the Logan Paul sale. Now that's absolutely insane.
Yeah.
That not only is the biggest Pokemon sale, that is one of the largest card sales ever, and will be one of the largest card sales ever for years to come, right? Cards like that don't come around very often. So it's really just insane stuff. The amount of attention it's brought to this space, it's good stuff. I was sitting down about a week or so ago with my mother-in-law and my father-in-law, and he goes to me, my father-in-law, did you see a wrestler bought a Pokemon card for like $15 million? And I was just like, boom, this is now crossed over,
Yeah.
The generation before me who has no idea about even wrestling, maybe not someone who watches wrestling, so to speak, right? Saw something in the news that a wrestler is buying Pokemon cards at this level. So it really has crossed over into, mainstream pop culture. Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of crossover. I mean, you guys have the Jonas Brothers opening wax here a couple of years ago, and then Emma Roberts,
we see her in
big
this
collector.
Yeah, absolutely. So many people like that. Even more so than that, the thing that surprises me the most, and it shouldn't be surprising, but the sheer volume of athletes that are now collectors that weren't even 5 years ago, and whether that's a credit to Topps, being taken over by Fanatics or whatever it may be, the growing online culture of people opening up sports cards, trading, selling, and everything in between. Whatever caused that, the amount of athletes now that are in the space, that come into the stores, that message us, that say, hey, if you hear of anyone with my one-of-one card, please let me know. It is every week. It really is incredible. And to me, that's exciting, because now if the athletes are behind it and they're looking at, it's a stock of a player on their team or something like that.
Or even nostalgia,
And that's the other thing too, right? Throw away all the financial aspect of it all. The nostalgia is real. It brings you back. People walk in with their old childhood binders, and I turn through it.
I know.
And I'm like, wow.
Exactly.
That looks like, whoever. Greg, my buddy's binder read all the best hollow cards that I could never get. Like, they have that binder. So that's cool stuff too. And it takes you back to a time and a place of a simpler time and place.
Exactly. But now, like you said, it's now becoming more like an asset too,
Absolutely.
So now you want to teach kids to kind of take care of a little bit more and still play with. So what's your advice to a kid that comes into your store that want to think about, they want to play with the cards, but also kind of collect, thinking that it has value down the line?
All right. So that's a great question. I would say this to any collector, kid, adult, anyone getting to the space, or anyone that's been in this space and trying to navigate. I have so many cards you hear all the time, whatever. If you want a card, buy the card, right? Just period, stop.
Yeah.
If you want the Pikachu, Charizard, if you want the Aaron Judge or Brunson talking the other side of our business, buy the card, because you'll spend that amount of money trying to open it up in packs. Now, it is not lost on me that is the funnest part of this, right?
That's how I started.
It is like going to a ball game. It is like going to the movies. You're having the excitement of opening up a Pokemon pack on release day. And you're doing that with friends. You're doing that with family. You're doing that at the card store on the counter, chatting with the folks. And that excitement, whether you get a card or not, you're paying for the experience, right? I went to a Nets game last night to see Wembanyama play. I watched a lousy Nets game, right? Lousy Nets game. But the experience I got, I didn't go home with a basketball at the end of it and say, wow, I didn't get my whatever $100 worth. I went home saying that was a lot of fun there. You know what I mean? So if you are a kid getting into this space, if you want the card, buy the card. If you want to have the excitement of that, do that in moderation, right? Set yourself a limit. I'm going to buy 5 packs today and stick to that. Don't keep on trying to chase that next card. And then here's the thing that you were touching on. Keep your cards in good condition, right? for a kid, if you're starting out young, parents to teach their kids, card shops like here, or folks like yourself, card care is so important, right? So a younger kid, I would start them off with a binder.
Yeah.
Pokemon's great. A lot of the releases will come with one pack and a little small mini binder that can hold 60 cards.
Oh, yeah.
So you can start like that, 5, 10-year-olds, that's a great place to start, and at least get them in there so they're not bent in half. Because there's nothing worse than a kid coming in and saying, I have this $100 card, and it looks like it was just through the washing machine, right?
And I see that a lot because, like Wednesday here, taking submissions, and it's so hard to tell a kid that they just pulled it, and
it's a tough part of the business, right? That you have to let people down or stuff or explain to them, but that's how you learn in life, right? To keep care of your stuff. So if they're learning at a young age those lessons, right? Keep care of your Pokemon or your sports cards so you can get those PSA chans with BlackJadedWolf. It does teach you good values. Take care of your stuff, right? Don't go above your means ever. And all that is good. And then the other aspect of it that we haven't touched on a ton, community.
Yep.
Pokemon, sports cards, there's not many communities like this. The amount of folks that come here and just want to be around friends, family, like-minded folks, and talk about this hobby, oh, it is awesome. It really is.
That's one thing why I probably like more TCG right now.
Yeah.
Because it feels like it's not just an investment for them.
Sure.
It's more like a community. They do it with friends. I'm not saying sports card can't do that. You could, but I feel like I want to bring it back. Grassroots is sports card.
Absolutely.
So I think Fanatics helps with that, kind of bringing back like the Fanatic Fest. So hopefully, I want the feel of the Pokemon community, TCG community, to be a little bit more and spread, hopefully contagious, to like the sports card community. Yep. And that's why I think in stores like yours, it kind of helps with that.
Yeah, I think that's so important, right? And that's really, it's a core part of my mission, right? As someone with my hand on retail shops and what have you, is to bring that experience that you can't really feel as much online, right? Bring that to the in-person, right? Let people be able to congregate and have fun and let loose and not have to worry about, the weights of life. I think that is so often lost. The name of the shop is Bleecker Trading, right? I don't know another card store in the country that has trading in the name. And we've really tried to lean into that. If you look at the layout of this store that we're in right now, the West Village location, the flagship store, it's 20% store. And then the rest of it is a back lounge. Behind that is a courtyard that's a backyard with a basketball hoop. So you'll see kids just shooting hoops after school, hanging out.
And parents sit here and then they could,
So that community aspect is so important to us. And it really is very rewarding when you see a kid grow up and, matures from maybe a Pokemon collector, and they had some cards that came in crumpled up. And, the guy was nice behind the counter, let him trade into maybe a better condition or a nicer one. They get a little older, and you see they have some more cards thrown up their binder. By the time they're 16, they put down a briefcase on your counter. And as you know, some serious numbers, right?
Some big
dollars in cards and stuff. And say, wow, these kids have built a young business around this space. And that's exciting to see.
We're not just talking about $50 cards now. A perfect example. This is like from a collection I recently graded for a customer.
Ooh, look at
it's a nice piece,
So Sharon, what are we looking at right here? Tell the folks, because I know what this is. This is insane. Wow.
So that card now, in PSA comp and estimations, like around $12,000 now.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
So this
and it's a 5.
is a PSA authenticated first edition, graded 5, Charizard.
Yep.
Oh, insane stuff.
So it's like stuff like that, that 20-something years ago. It's not, you probably traded not knowing,
Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
I hear a lot of those stories, but so this is one guy that kept a lot of them.
Yep.
And we graded a lot of his first edition.
Yeah, I noticed that. This is a newly graded PSA cert, right?
Literally just came back.
Recently graded.
Yeah.
So, and this was a customer of yours?
Yeah. Oh, he walks in here.
Excellent stuff. Yeah, so with BlackJadedWolf, we do partner submission, group submissions every Wednesday afternoon here. And that's a huge another thing that we like to add to this community that we talk about.
Exactly.
Right? It's such a tough thing to figure out what cards are valuable, what cards are in good condition. This one I just pulled out of a pack. Shouldn't it be a perfect condition PSA 10? figuring that all out is so tough. The nuance of this space, a blaster box to a hobby box. So working like with folks like yourself has really, really helped us add a lot more value to our community, I think.
Definitely.
And for you, with doing stuff with us down here, have you found that it's given exposure to your business, or what do you like about doing stuff with Bleecker?
I like meeting people. I like this type of space. It's not just about the monetary value, but there are like great stories that people that I've met here. Obviously, one guy, his name is Brian. He collects card, and his son passed. And he decided to grade his collection. He said stores offered him like $1,000 for his whole collection. Decided to and then I think one of your guy, Justin's like, "Oh, Sharon is here. Why don't you?"
Take it to a professional. Get the information that you need. That is so important, right?
And then in the end, we graded everything, sold everything for him. I think ran it in consignment for like around 12 grand.
Oh my God! Wow, that's a crazy multiply. Now, and I don't know where else he looked to shop that lot, whether it was online or wherever it may be. And I'm sure that the grading the cards added a significant amount of value, right? It wasn't just that he was lowballing. He was going through the process of PSA and see it was valuable.
That's the buying value for raw, especially not knowing condition,
Gotcha.
But with grading, he got lucky with one Articuno, that PSA 10.
Oh, that's what
so
you mean, right?
That card is like $300 to basically now, $4,000 or $5,000.
Insane stuff. Yeah.
So, that helps him. It's not about the low ball. It's more like knowing what's the real value of your cards, and that, like you said, being here, helping some of your customer, helping, people that needs help on like conditioning of the card and all that stuff and giving knowledge to some of the new collectors too in this space. It is great.
I think that's so important that you touched on that, and I wish I would have said it too, because it really is something that I think is core here and core with your business, right? He is investing in the customers, the time, and giving them knowledge so they can spread that. More people in this space, right? That's all good to spread this hobby. Slowly but surely. And we've seen tremendous growth over the past few years. You've been in a few more years than I have professionally, for sure. But even over, since we launched Bleecker here, I mean, it is year over year. The amount of Instagram accounts that we see, followers, the amount of people coming into the store, celebrities, athletes, and everything in between. The growth is really exciting. And to tie it back to Pokemon, wow, Pokemon right now is really having a special moment, it seems like.
Before you answer that, because it's my last question for the segment, is what do you think of the future of like TCG and Pokemon? And obviously One Piece is getting hot. And with the new Dragon Ball Z game that's launching, it's, just tons of TCG potential, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. I think specifically on the TCG space, I think right now it's really having a moment. I think that'll continue. I think as we see it continue to roll like this, there will be more players getting in this space. That will probably cause some dilution, right? Not everyone can win. The money can't go everywhere. But with that said, the amount of new people coming into the space and the interest in these products, it's what's driving this demand. It's why they're creating more products. It's why they're printing more, whatever it is. Pokemon, but it's selling even quicker, right? They cannot keep up with the demand.
But I think that's the reason why too, not like packs in sports that, the value goes up.
Right.
But I know they're printing more too, but I feel like the affordability in Pokemon is kind of still stable. It's going up a little, but it's still like a kid save his allowance, or a parent is still willing to pay 100 something, or $50 than $1,000 box.
It is a different ball game. You're absolutely right. When I was a kid, a pack was $3.99, right? $4, $5, or what have you. Now it's about $10.
But still,
that seems to be keep up with the cost of inflation.
Exactly.
Right? If I think back to minimum wage, when around that time,
$5 to $15.
Exactly. Almost like it's probably right in line with where it almost should be. And then the rare stuff, those felt out Pikachus are the really desirable items. Those run, and that's kind of a healthy market, I think. I think specifically in this space now, with people wanting, they really do want community more than ever. Stuff to do together. This gameplay of TCGs is a great way to meet other folks, to hang out in person, to get your friends out and say, let's go down to Bleecker Trading for the new release. Let's go watch.
Not just stay at home and play video games.
Yeah, let's go see BlackJadedWolf at the Philly Card Show next weekend or something like that. That's exciting, right? That's an event. And this space has now become that.
Yep.
So I do think that TCG games are here to stay. I do think this space as an overall market will continue to grow in market cap. Whether that means there will be some casualties on some fringe games, but Pokemon, One Piece, and some of the other main ones you mentioned, I think we'll continue to see these prices rise. It might not be a straight line up. I think you look back in 5 years, we'll sit down on the 35th right on this couch. Maybe we'll have a new one by then. But I think we'll be looking at booster boxes closer to hobby box prices as opposed to where they are today. Keep growing. Yeah.
Yep. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Bleecker, for hosting us here. And see you next time.
Yep. Awesome. My pleasure, Sharon. Thanks again.
Thank you.
If you like this episode, please make sure to subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts.